Ladies and gentlemen, I believe you know why we are all here. We have now entered a war between the legitimate players versus the players who want nothing more than to grief using the Mark II Oppressor. At first, before its release, we did not think that they would be so overpowered, but now that everyone can get their hands on it, we can now see that the Mark II is a very big problem when it comes to free mode. These things are just plain cancer of the free lobby session and are causing great grief among casual players alike. So I set out to do some research and find what is the best way to defend yourselves against this overpowered vehicle. Me and a bunch of friends started researching the strengths and weaknesses of the Mark II, strategies that people can use to fight them, and ultimately safe ways to defeat them without posing much risk to you. So let's get started. Before we begin, it's probably obvious to say this now, but most Oppressor Mark IIs that you'll find on the street will be equipped with the missiles. The explosive cannon and the standard machine guns are just too ill-effective for most griefers to use. They're hard to aim, and generally won't dish out that much damage. As such, missiles coming out the front of these things will be the most common occurrence. So when fighting an Oppressor Mark II, you will have to take care of something that is small, fast, and fires off missiles that have some of the best tracking capabilities in the game. They can take out most vehicles within just a few seconds, and on tougher vehicles they can keep the heat going for quite a while, especially when the rider is on BST. That is, however, until they run out of ammo. Ammo is about the only thing that holds back the Oppressor Mark II with a limited capacity of 20 rockets. However, because it's considered a bike, the Oppressor Mark II can simply be despawned then respawned instantly through the use of Motorcycle Club Business CEO abilities. As such, the limitation of only 20 onboard rockets is nothing but a small inconvenience to the rider. Standard missile evasion maneuvers from the likes of jets are ill-effective against its missiles, especially since the vehicle can simply hover in place while the target aircraft uselessly rings around them. So let's get a few things over with first. There are a lot of vehicles that fire off missiles which have great tracking capabilities, just as good as a Mark II in fact. With just one shot they can easily take down the Mark II with no problems. The issue is that although they can defeat the Mark II with ease, unfortunately by the time they fired off a shot at the Oppressor itself has also fired off a shot, so both vehicles will trade rockets effectively. Therefore, the likes of the Vigilante and the Ruiner 2000, among other cars, are not the best way of defeating them since it's a kill for a kill situation. Especially if the person on the Oppressor started easy way outing, which don't be surprised if you see this starting to happen. We tried the Chernabog. Although its lock-on range is astoundingly far and can outrange the Mark II by hundreds of meters, unfortunately the Oppressor has the ability to simply dodge the incoming missiles that are coming straight on. So all the Oppressor has to do is fire off a missile, and that's one dead Chernabog that the Oppressor has under its belt. The Chernabog is also a bit of a pain to get set up, and most likely the Oppressors will know what you're trying to do and avoid coming near you altogether. The Deluxo, a very similar vehicle in the way that it works to the Oppressor, is also pretty effective at taking them out. But again, like the other cars that fire missiles, they too suffer the same kill for a kill trade-off. So what do we do from here? Fight on foot? Well, that depends. If you are one hell of a sniper that can hit small moving targets that fly at high speed, if so, then this may be the solution for you. However, this is pretty expensive unless you're using an aimbot, and even if you manage to hit them, there is not a 100% chance of blowing them up in one hit. So what do we do from here? Well, allow me to introduce you to...
What's up, you crazy sons of beaches? It's time to take out some salty oppressor motherfuckers.
That's right, the Insurgent is the key. Why? Well, before I explain that, allow me to show you a fight with a similar vehicle. Here we can see the half-track doing pretty well aiming at the target with the anti-air gun. But, oh, what's this? A missile has hit the gunner. Damn, the gunner has been taken out. They're vulnerable against the explosive of the rockets being fired off from the Oppressor. This is where Mr. Chromobil comes in. For some reason, no matter where I got hit, the Oppressor somehow couldn't blow me up despite being exposed on the outside of the vehicle. Why? I don't know. But what's important is that we can use this to our advantage in the fight against the Oppressors. The effective range of the Insurgent's minigun reaches out much further than the Oppressor's lock-on range, so you can start dishing out damage before the Oppressor can even start firing at you. And if you feel it's necessary, any additional passengers inside the Insurgent can use drive-by weapons too. Though I feel this isn't as effective on their own, as I once tested, though it can be a big help if the Oppressor is getting in very close range. Because the gunner is immune from fire of the Oppressor, and the vehicle itself can tank a lot of the missiles, the Insurgent Pickup Custom is a very safe way to take out Mark IIs. The only downside being is that this needs a second person to operate, unless you're willing to try parking in one spot and getting on the gun manually. As for solo methods of taking out Mark II oppressors, as of right now I haven't really been able to find a way of taking them out effectively and safely, besides using cars that can fire missiles and using snipers. You are pretty safe if you're on foot however, so if you do see an oppressor heading your way when driving around, get out of the vehicle before it can lock onto you and counterattack using a sniper rifle, or if they dare to get close, use a minigun. So that's my current personal best ways to tackle Mark II oppressors. Do you have any strategies that you can share? Make sure to let us know in the comments so that we can all discuss the best ways to take out these overpowered hovercycles once and for all. And if you found this information useful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Pyro Gaming channel for loads more videos coming to you very soon. See you around, folks. Dismissed!